Don't you love how the microphone freaking starts when muted? I sure don't. Let's try that again. The puzzles that I've collected that you all will be seeing here in guest star mode, that I've done in guest star mode, was 80 pieces each, and it was 18 pieces. Nobody would have imagined that it would have been possible to complete 18 pieces. But the only way it's possible is by playing guest star as almost every ally. So, mainly, the thing about the puzzle collection is this is showing what that is like for collecting every puzzle piece, along with a slight surprise in the silent part of that. That along with me thinking I was done until the very end, where I was actually done. But the other thing is, from the guest star mode that you have all noticed already, and in case you have seen it or not, doesn't matter, because I don't know if you guys have or have not, and I'm fine with you not wanting to watch the guest star mode, because it was completely optional, even though it was like a few parts long. So, this is basically the show off of that, and the honest opinion about Super Kirby Clash and the 17th picture. And like I said, every picture was 80 puzzle pieces long, and basically the recommended puzzles were, I don't remember, I think it was like 6 pictures that were recommended for completion, but the rest were optional. And 16 would have been enough, but of course they added 2 more once you have unlocked the Mage Sisters. The only way that completing the 18 pieces would have been not impossible was to play guest star, not even play as Susie or whatever ally you chose not to play as. But of course, the reason of why I played guest star in the first place was to try to unlock the hidden audio themes for each. But I failed as Rick, Kind, and Koo for getting the secret room there. So, I hope you enjoy the grind, but if you did want to skip it, the timestamp was already shown in the beginning or halfway in between. And there were some points where I thought it was over, but it wasn't until the very end in the 4-minute timestamp. And my honest opinion is it was all worth it in the end, because had I not done the guest star mode and completed all of those pieces, I would have been endlessly curious about what they were, because I've never completed 18 pieces. I don't think anybody really cared about it, but I did, and I really wanted to know if it would have been a good, a sad, a terrible, or a touching ending. And it would have been a secret ending with no credits. So, without further ado, here is my honest opinion about the certain stuff on what I've said. Talking in finale terms, I don't think it's possible for me to avoid collecting every puzzle piece at this point. I think I'm gonna collect every puzzle piece before I even wrap up the Mage Sisters in this mode, guest star, even though I'm trying my best to celebrate the end point of it. But it's not gonna work out very well. I'm actually very curious about what this is gonna be. This is the end of the puzzle collecting. It's recorded separately from me doing the guest star finale. This is the true finale. This is it. Oh, I am dead wrong, actually. This is a guaranteed end this time. I know for a fact because I collected way over 3 pieces. I think I collected like 13 or something. 10. Oh, wait. That is interesting. It just... Oh, man. A farewell to Kirby is what it is. Even though I don't really get why they think that it was a farewell. That would have made me sad if I saw that. Because if that was the case, for it being a farewell to Kirby, that would have meant either it would have either meant that that was the end of Kirby, or it was just nearing the new beginnings. And they were saying that they were still going to make Kirby games. So this would have actually made me sad if I saw that was a farewell Kirby. This is it. The bonus video of Kirby Star Allies, where I'm going to be sharing a couple of things, such as completed puzzles and pretty much what I've shown already was I've pretty much shown the puzzle pieces, and I talked there as well. But this is going to be me showing off every puzzle and then sharing off an honest opinion about Super Kirby Clash, because I'm not going to do it as an LP. During me showing it, I am going to just share my honest opinion about it anyways. Super Kirby Clash is a grind of a game where you have to basically battle a bunch of fearsome foes, and also Magolor Soul and Kirby Superstar Ultra is still by far the scariest boss to me because of what happens when you defeat him. But back to it, Super Kirby Clash is a grind of the game where you have to grind experience and get level ups, and also it's basically a pay to win game. Despite the fact that I really hate having the pay to win method anyways. Hence the reason why I'm not LPing the game. And then what I've said already in the guest star mode, which was a bit before the finale. I'm gonna let this play out for a little bit while I share my own opinion about the rest. I'd say that the thing I loved the most is how Galacta Knight changed his name from Zed to Eon Hero. And now there were two forms of Eon Hero once you've defeated the main form, which was light form in the main story, and then dark mode as party mode. Dark form, or dark phase. I don't know. Dark form is like light form in the main mode, and then dark form in the party mode. And party mode was ridiculously tough for how you are able to battle the Eon Hero's dark form, because the main story, and I'm spoiling all of it because yes, I'm not LPing. You have to go up to level 60 at the approximate to battle Eon Hero's light form. But party mode was an even bigger grind, and I didn't even reach that level before battling him, but I still defeated him. You have to reach level 90 to defeat Eon Hero's dark form. And I didn't do that. Instead, I was on level 83 when I defeated him, and I used the maxed out gear in Super Deluxe upgrade form. Letting this play out as well because I freaking love this theme. I wish I could play Clan Robobot, but my 3DS is not great, and I don't really want to get another 3DS. If anything, the next console I'd buy is if they ever make a Switch 2 without any sort of like symbol card, then I would actually be willing to buy it off. So then it shares like, well, did I 100% Super Kirby Clash? The answer is no. It's freaking impossible to, because you have to play in multiplayer a bunch. You have to. It's not really impossible, but it would take so long to do. If I ever did LP the game, which I'm not going to, because as much as I love it, it takes so long to beat. It's not like any other Kirby game. It's free but pay to win. So that's the reason why I'm not going to play the game. The only thing I enjoyed about it was getting the chance to listen to themes that you would originally hear in Star Allies as well. That along with remixes of those themes, like Revenge of the Enemy. And the theme that you've heard in Another Dimension, but remixed. The new experiences I've had with Kirby Star Allies as well was completing every puzzle, because nobody has done that before. But it was sad at the end because I didn't expect it. I was thinking that it was going to be something like the ultimate great end. Like it was going to be showing Kirby and friends together. But instead it was Kirby. It was just Kirby himself, but I'm going to show that in a moment. I'd say my most favorite Kirby game still, even if it was a pain of a grind to complete every puzzle and get every ally except for one in Guest Star, which I'm not gonna do because I don't want to have to go through all that again. Because I'll say it, Susie's theme for when she battles Morpho Knight is the same theme you would hear when you battle Parallel Susie in Super Kirby Clash. That is when you battle against her in party mode. That's the only time you get to hear it. Pretty much the only thing left is sharing my opinion about whether you guys should play Super Kirby Clash or not. My honest opinion on that is that you shouldn't. That's my honest opinion. It would take so long to beat. If you want to play it, then that's fine. But I have warned you about how it's a pay to win, and the reason why is because of the gem apples as currency. The only way to get gem apples as currency is to complete missions, and to get them from the gem apple tree every once per 12 hours, which is a painful grind. And then there's the adventure bell that you get by every once per day. Exactly. Every once per day. And that means every once per 24 hours. Imagining that would be one heck of a grind to do. And I've even calculated the gem apples you actually are able to get in this. And what it ended up being is a puppy's whining. I'm very sure I know the reason why. The reason why there's a painful grind is because the in total amount of apples that you get, story quest is 1,300 when you complete it, and there are also things called rare fragments which you actually need in order to get the deluxe upgraded armor along with the rarest armor. And the in total amount of rare fragments you get is 26 in the main mode, story mode mainly. Party mode, you get in total 3,655. And how much you get for just completing overall missions like level up, playing multiplayer, do a certain amount of, play a certain amount of times as this ability, like Time Lord for instance. That's literally what it's called. Is it Time Lord or is it Beam Mage? I think it's just Beam Mage. You know, I just said Time Lord. My bad. I was adding that up. I think it is, actually. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I don't actually know. 6,221 is what I'm seeing from other apples, but I might be wrong on that. Oh. Yeah, whatever. I'll just say the in total amount of gold and amount of gem apples, that along with if you've played it for 10 days, for how much you would be able to get without paying to win, but it's still freaking low, and you would have to pay to win anyways. 7,600. That's why I say it's a pay to win, unless you want to wait for like 2 months to complete the game. Hence why I say don't play it. Because it would take forever to play if you do. That's all I got for my honest opinion about Super Kirby Clash. And the thumbnail, hilariously enough, is going to be the final picture that you will be seeing soon. Not this, but the very last picture. The Mage Sisters, though, I'll probably do this as a thumbnail. Like the... These themes I've not heard yet, so I've wanted to share my honest feelings about that too. Actually, the one on the bottom is Highness, so he's also enjoying the thing. It's called Let Them Know We're Happy. It's actually very sweet. And yeah, if you actually complete these pictures in the gallery as well, surprise surprise, it actually unlocks the themes. It unlocks the themes when you go to the music selection. Which means that the only one I've not had yet is with Susie, but I'm not gonna do that. This shows every boss. It shows Mark's Soul, 02, Dark Matter, Dark Nebula, Dark Lord, I think it's what it's called. Not Dark Lord, it's it's Dark Mind. That's what it was. And then there's also Canvas Curse boss that I don't remember the name of. Magalore, 02 is up there. The top right is Nightmare, which is surprising. Yin Yarn is in this. They showed Yin Yarn. So they showed every boss from every Kirby game. That's actually surprising. I didn't know they would do that. Even more surprising that they actually put Yin Yarn in this, because I didn't think they were going to do that, since the Epic Yarn was never referenced. But they did. They referenced every Kirby game, that other than Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That is crazy. And yeah, there's also Project Dream. That's actually what it's named, from Planet Robobot. But man, they even put Yin Yarn in this. I did not expect that at all. And it shows them all surrounding Popstar. Shows how insane they are, how intimidating they look. That's something that I am super surprised with. That's why I think that the next time they make a Kirby game... Actually, did they put Queen Sectonia in this too? Because I actually want to know if they did. Dark Mind... They showed her somewhere, I just don't see her. Because every boss is in this. Paintra is in it too, so I'm gonna... Yeah, I think I see her. Yep, I do. She is in this. I'm very sad for Queen Sectonia, because the only way to defeat certain bosses, Mark's Soul, even though Mark's Soul was never really like a boss to have killed, but yeah, it seems like you do kill him in the end. 02, yeah, those are different. There's 02 in Dreamland 3, which I think was just called 0, and then there's 02 in Kirby 64. Project Dream, basically Haltman was the name, and you had to kill him off because the heart was actually connected to him. Queen Sectonia, she had so many forms that she had no idea what to do with herself, so she had to die off. Then there's King Dedede as well. actually, that's sort of interesting to look at. That King Dedede's in this as well, because if anything, King Dedede was the final boss in Kirby's Dream Land 1. So they even shows off King Dedede. I'm trying to remember all of these bosses, because I don't know all of them. Like, I don't know who's right next to the planet Popstar. But they did show the rainbow, I think it's like Rainbow Matter or whatever it's called, but they showed that boss at least. And then Magolor doesn't really have a death, even if it looks like he does die, but really he doesn't die, and he just has... Well, maybe it is like a death thing, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. And I think he really got teleported and lost all of his power. Dark Nebula had to die. Dark Mind had to die. Funnily enough, Dark Terminus, or Void Astrobirth, never died. Instead, it was like Transcendent. But Queen Sectonia had to die. Zero, all of the Dark Matter stuff had to die off. Nightmare had to die off. And Parallel Nightmare is in this as well, so that it would be like an ultimate revengeance. Pretty dang cool to just reflect on that. And then there's this that is very confusing, because it wasn't the final Kirby game. This is basically like the end of Kirby is what they were trying to say, but really it wasn't the end. And I think I saw this image on Nintendo News saying that it was going to be like a farewell for now. That's what I thought it was going to be, was a farewell for now. But they literally just say farewell Kirby, even though this game was basically just a one and only game that they thought was just the one and only, but it wasn't. There was more after that, even though it took them a few years to make a new one. They made Super Kirby Clash. They've made Kirby in the Forgotten Land in 2020, I think. Or I think it was 2022, and then they made Kirby's Dream Buffet. I don't know. All I do know is that Kirby's Dream Buffet came out before Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe did, and after Kirby in the Forgotten Land. So they made so many Kirby games that they might be able to make another one in another year. If they do, I will be looking forward to that, because I will then play it. Because I love Kirby. He's one of my favorite characters, but my most favorite games to play are Mario games, despite the fact that Kirby's a very close second. Just because of some people thinking that Kirby games are basically like kids games, but I hardly disagree, because like hardly meaning like I very much disagree, because it's only like that when you play the main mode, and then when the extra modes come out, then things get even harder. But Kirby in the Forgotten Land was not at all a kid's thing. It was basically like for anybody to solve, but it was hard for me to solve. Sorry. Talking so much, even though I've talked for like an hour, but yet somehow I'm already at the exhausted point. And I'll say this is my final Kirby LP until they make another one. Except for, it's not really my final one. Just that it will be my final one for a while. It's my 62nd LP. And the next time I play a Kirby game, it's going to be on my 72nd LP. Or 73rd. I'm heavily hoping that my 70th LP is Donkey Kong. And I'm heavily hoping that I continue doing LPs until I reach like a certain point where I feel like quitting YouTube. Which I don't know when that's gonna be, because most likely I'll be continuing YouTube for a little while. It won't be the final farewell of Kirby, because I'm heavily thinking there's gonna be more Kirby out there. Just that if they ever do make a final Kirby game, I'm hoping they announce it. I'm hoping they announce that it will be a final Kirby game, because it will make me sad, but it will be like them saying Kirby's last adventure is what I'm thinking they would say if, for them being like the final Kirby game. I'm not hoping that they make it soon. I'm just hoping that they say Kirby's last adventure when it ends up being Kirby's last adventure. But not the game name being that, just being called, just them saying it's going to be Kirby's last adventure. That, along with thinking that Paper Mario The Thousand Door is the final Paper Mario game they will make before all things bad happen. That's what I'm thinking, expecting, really. Because when all things bad happen, that's when I will end up quitting YouTube. After all of the good stuff happened, then I will end up quitting YouTube. Maybe I might even quit YouTube before I complete every LP. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Because as well, I'm hoping to show my dice trials. So, all of that aside, I'm hopeful that you enjoyed my honest opinion about Super Kirby Clash. Because when this is uploaded is right after the finale. Not like immediately after, but it's like the day after. That, along with Super Paper Mario's official return. That's it. They just ended the audio there. I talked during the whole theme. Huh. Well. That's that then. I am finally done with Kirby. Finally done with this game. And hilariously enough, I want to say that this was my longest series of Kirby. Even funnier that when you see this, Paper Mario The Thousand Door will be released, because when I recorded this was on the 18th of May. But even funnier how this game, of all games, was my longest series, because Kirby and the Forgotten Land would have been the longer series because it's 3D. But it wasn't. Kirby Star Allies played for 75 hours or more, even though I heavily disagree with that time because I left it open for a long while. I didn't know that. So I think it would have been actually 60 or more hours. Because that's how long I left it open for. Was pretty much 15 hours. So, of course, my next LP is me finishing Super Paper Mario. But my next LP after that is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And what I'm going to be playing is I'm hoping to complete Super Mario Sunshine, but not 100% complete, just getting 100 shines out of 120. And I'm going to play Super Mario, and I'm going to play that, complete it, and then not upload anything for me for a while. We'll see though. So the next video you'll be seeing is Super Paper Mario when I have done when I have done the maps. And that will not require the sensor bar. It will instead just require me using just knowledge and stuff. So, see you guys on whatever the next LP ends up being, or whatever my next video ends up being, whatever may happen. Whether it being part 1 of maps or not. Because, as well, how many parts ahead I think I am is 10.